Hello, happy people. We have over here Diane McKendrick, life coach. We have over here Rise and Shine, taking your time to get on, and up here my personal page, hello all the people. So this is super exciting because this week I get to share with you my secret recipe. There's lots of things that I do that have led me to this soulful success. The same thing as my book is about, the Soulful Guide to Success. So many of you are coming to me and saying, Diane, what is it? What do you do? How are you making this work for yourself? And I want to share it with you. So here I am. I started these sessions probably 6 or 7 weeks ago, a free webinar, because this thing called coronavirus hit and everybody's lives turned upside down. So I thought, how can I utilize what I know and implement it for all of you, teach you, go through my journey. You know, my husband is an international pilot for Virgin and they went into receivership. So, you know, lots of happening for our family as well. And I was noticing I was going through this path and I noticed things were happening for us. And I had the strategy. So I would feel the feelings and then I would move through it. And I wanted to jump on here and get that information for people so I could help you. So they've carried on a little longer than I initially thought. It might have been 4 or 5 weeks, but I've had such a huge response from all of you. I thought, you know, a couple more weeks, it's well worth it. It's incredible to watch, even from, you know, people starting hearing this and then slowly, gently moving on to whatever it is next for you, whether it's to read the book, whether it's to get the podcast, whether it's to come to an event. We ran an online half-day workshop. There's so many options for all of you. So let's get into it. We've got Catherine up here, Wade up here. Hello, everybody. Give me a few likes. It helps with the algorithms and getting on. We've got Susan, I think, just jumped on here. Good to see you, Susan. Now, Oh my gosh, you guys couldn't even hear me. Oh well, I've just been banging on about all sorts of amazing stuff. Thank you. Let me mute it because I need to mute you guys. Or at me. Who is that? Participants, I'm going to see Susan, Helen, Kate, Kayla, Nicolette. Thanks for jumping on and thanks for letting me know I was on mute. Let me know if you can still hear me. Can you hear me now? Someone write back. Susan, you're laughing at me. I love it. I love it. Technology. Don't let not knowing stop you. You would have seen I quoted myself. I used to laugh at people that would do that, but I was like, stop it. Don't let not knowing stop you. I have been presenting to my peeps, my inner circle, my action takers, and I've been on mute the whole time. So you guys know me well enough and you know the introduction. You probably could guess what I would say anyway. So that's cool. I like you guys to see this side of it so you don't think, oh, it's so polished and it's so perfect, I can't do it, because that's what came up for me this week. I work quite closely with Lewis Mocker and Robin Louise, and they don't have kids, and they are like the top of the top, freaking amazing. And their stuff does not come out with an error, a spelling mistake, and it's a very high standard. And so I was holding myself to that standard as well, and it was actually scaring me off because guess what? I make mistakes. And it was stopping me. The action was stopping me because I was too scared of it not being perfect. So when you jump on these extra support webinars, you get to see this sort of stuff that really goes on. And I think for me in particular, it's and a lot of the entrepreneurs that I'm working with, it's quite endearing to actually see what goes on behind the scenes, because you guys get a finished product. You get like an amazing product. The mastermind, some of you are part of that, and that's phenomenal, but you don't often see the behind the scenes, the tantrums, the things don't seem to work, the kids running in, me going through the ups and downs. So that's why it's so important. I work with a lot of you, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of parents, and that's sort of my expertise now is helping navigate that, and not letting the fear stop you, not letting the expectation stop you. Hello Mason, good to see you. Always love seeing you on here. Yeah, Mason's from America. What time is it over there? It must be like midnight or something, late. Well, it's probably early for you. Okay, cool. So if you do want to see the slideshow, you got to jump on. My team has dropped the Zoom link in here and here. I am no longer on mute. I've got a bit of a different setup this week. And for those of you who can't see, it's a big photo of me holding my hand out to say stop. It's time to stop hiding. It is your time to shine. And all of you have a gift and an essence inside of you that's just bursting at the seams to get out. But we're being stopped because of societal expectation, because of what our brain tells us, because of the incongruency between what our brain tells us and what it's learnt and what our heart and our soul desires, is we're getting stopped. And then we listen to people, and people close to us are trying to protect us. Don't write a book you can't spell. Don't do this, because if you rise too high in the back of the masses, if you rise too high, if you do too well, people are going to do what? All my little Australian followers, well, people are going to do what? If you do too well and you rise too high, what are humans in Australia, not necessarily over in America, Mason, but when you start to rise up, name of my book, and do really well, what do people like to do to you? They like to cut you off at the knees, and this thing called tall poppy syndrome, right? So if you're part of my community, that doesn't exist. It might exist on the outside of that. And I give people the tools and the systems and the strategies, because that was a real fear for me as well. It happened to me my whole childhood. I was a star athlete from a very young age. Anything I tried, I've only realized this as an adult, anything I tried, I was pretty good at. And I was always the person that people like to freaking pick on because I was the goody two-shoes. Like even in class, I was a dummy, right? Well, that was the belief. I didn't know, but I would sit there and I would try so hard and I'd put my hand up and people would tease me. And when I swam, my coach would say, do 10 of those, I'd freaking do 11. Everybody else in the team was like trying to work out how they could skip out on doing laps, and I was like, stuff that. Even I remember being a 15-year-old girl and people like, let's just do, it was like 10 200s or something, which is bringing a lot of swimming, by the way. 10 200s, and they got to 8 and they're like, let's just, if we all say that we've done 10, he'll believe us. And of course he's not going to freaking believe us, because he times us, he knows. And in my head I thought, I'm going to cop it, because it had happened before. And I was like, no, I don't feel comfortable with that, because it's not the truth. I'm here, I'm training because I want to win that race. And I feel like if I skip out on it, even from such a young age, then I am not going to be the best. I'm here, I want to do one more. I don't want to do two less. So anyway, they all agreed within themselves, or tell the coach, Darren, if you're watching, you know the drill, my coach from when I was a kid. you know, we'll tell him that we'll do it. Diane just like try and bully me into being quiet. And he knew. They would all be like, yeah, 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 yeah. And he would turn to me in front of everybody, the whole squad, and say, Diane, tell me how many you've done. And I didn't have it in me to lie. I was like, we've only done 8. And then the tomatoes would get thrown at me. All the other swimmers are like, whoa, what do you have to be? But guess what? When I won the races, they all come to me and they say, oh, you're so lucky. And in my head, even as a young child, I get passionate about this because I didn't realize this about myself. I just thought I was a bit of a loser. I thought I was a goody two-shoes. I thought I was always trying to impress people. But I have this drive inside of me. I have this drive to freaking show up, to be the best version of myself, to challenge my body, to watch it grow, to enjoy it growing. And that's what I'm here for. It is now my sole purpose to help you guys do the same thing. You can feel how passionate I am about this. So this thing, tall poppy syndrome, I get it too. I know it. Still to this day, people throw tomatoes at me because I'm up here and I'm doing my thing. But because I do these strategies and I come back to this daily, this is what gets me through. So one of the biggest fears of you shining and standing out nearly for all of us will be, what are people going to say? What are people going to think? What does it really mean if I'm successful? How does this change things for me? I'm going to take you through now a process that I go through. I'm really going to try and keep it a lot shorter today. Succinct, punchy, and potent. So you get the information, you implement it. And then if you're wanting any more support, you come and see me and we sort something out. So just before I get into the next little bit, anybody up here, my team have dropped the link in below so you can get onto the Zoom. You can get all the freebies and you can see the slideshow. Same goes for you guys down here. So here we are. You can see the slideshow. Let's go to the next page. Just double checking you guys can still hear me. Okay, so this is how far I've come. And I thought about taking this slideshow out because I'm like, people don't want to hear me banging on about my successes and my accomplishments, because to me, they're all yesterday. I'm focused on now, where I'm going and what I'm creating. But there's a part of me that's actually, there's positive and negative to everything. And the negative in that, well, the positive in it for me is I have such a massive magnitude to create because I don't get caught in the past very often. Sometimes I do, but not, I catch myself and I don't. And then I thought, what's going to be more beneficial to you? Some bloody random woman rocking up saying, blah, 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 go from here to here, because that's my nature. This is where I am. That's where I'm going. I put everything into it. Or for those of you, the newbies that have jumped on and maybe haven't heard me speak before, you know, I have to build a bit of rapport with you. I have to let you know and continue to show the people that are working with me for a long time that I am who I say I am. And honestly, under you know, saying the host is in another meeting. That's weird. Just got a message. Anyway, so what I want for you guys is to know who I am, to know that I keep showing up, to know I'm the real deal, to know I have the challenges, but also I felt like a bit of a, what did I feel like? A bit secretive for a while there. And I was thinking the only reason I've been able to achieve and accomplish all this, which I'm going to go through with you in a moment, I felt like a bit of a fraud because I was like, I've got these tools and strategies that I've committed my life to learning. I've committed to learning how to do the fear neutralization, how to neutralize losses and grief, how to really keep myself in this place of focus and presence. And it is not because I am different to any single of you out there. It's because I know the strategy. So I thought to myself, rather than feeling like a fraud, if I can help someone else, how about I just share it? How about I create my own mastermind, do my own lives, where I give you a snippet of this information on here. And if you're interested, you jump on and join the mastermind and then you can get more of it. So instead of, you know, hiding, which is what this is about, I was like, come out, you know, you've got nothing to hide. But I was started to think, if people find out maybe I'm not as great as they think I am because I just know the strategy and I freaking follow the strategy, maybe some people might start to think, oh, you know, she's not really as good as she appears. How crazy is that thinking? So it still comes up for me, guys. I actually started to feel dishonest because I have a whole set and realm of strategies, like I said, that I've spent a lifetime learning how to do and packaging and implementing and twisting and refining and adjusting and reviewing to take stuff from Tony Robbins, to take stuff that Francesca Moy has taught me and Eric Balance and Robin and Lewis and what they do really well, and Meg and Jacob and all my mentors, and taking bits from this person and bits from that person and adding this bit in and adding that in and making it my own. What works for me? None of them have kids. A lot of the people I work with and myself, I have kids. So I was like, how can I change that and infuse all of them together to make it something even more powerful for me? how can I really overachieve? I like that. I like overachieving. How can I really adapt it and refine it to fit me in my lifestyle with my family and my kids? And that's what the mastermind is about, is bringing you that information step by step in a package, little, the feedback I got yesterday was phenomenal. I'm sitting here, I decided, if you watched my Instagram, you would have known, a crazy kind of day. And it all started, Gus ended up having to go to work. He hasn't been to work for several weeks. So the pattern was different. The process was different. I couldn't get on his computer. Anyway, I realized that success for me in that moment was having the ability to recognize, the capacity to recognize what was happening for me and to shift it, to pivot, to change. So I was so lucky. I got to spend my whole day with my son, Ross, which I have not done since Esme was born, pretty much a whole solid day, and really listen to him and observe him and watch him in his out playing on the drone at the moment. That's why I keep looking out there. It's pretty special. So anyway, guys, let's get into the content. I just wanted to show you this, not more so bloody celebrate me, to let you know what's possible, to let you know that I've got the tools, the systems, the strategy, the community, and I've packaged it all, and I just be able to give it to you. So I have published my first book just over a year ago. It's called Rise Up, the Soulful Guide to Success. It just went Amazon bestseller. I know, crazy. Me, little old me, Amazon bestseller in 2 categories. I have also started running sold out retreats. This is one of the photos of one of the first ones I ran. So we have high-end packages, VIP packages, where you come for 2 or 3 days and we take you through the processes. So that's pretty important as well. I now speak from stages all over the world. Well, not right now. I do it all online, but you know, I was building up a lot of momentum. I have completed 2 national speaking tours where I've been pretty much all around Australia. Not all, I haven't been to Perth yet. That will be next year probably, or the end of this year. Speaking to people about these topics, going from burnout to boom, taking parents from where they are into living their soul desire and monetizing it in a really beautiful way. So this picture here is obviously me up in front of a group of people, one of the very first times I did it. So if I can do it coming from a background of being so shy and timid, then you all can do it too. Like I said, there was processes I went through to get myself on stage. And now, because I committed to it and I kept showing up, it's become my new normal. I've started saying no to people who are ringing me and asking me to speak at their events. For the first 6 months, I just said yes to everything because I was building. Now I've had to start saying no because it's not as in alignment with the next part of my business, which is the mastermind, and really taking the delivery of the information timeless and spaceless. You can hear me speak for half an hour or an hour, and I guarantee you I will change your world. I will change your life. I will basically brainwash you into taking action, good action. Even if you hear me for 15 minutes, I almost guarantee 100%, 99 of you will go away and take massive action in that moment. I'm so passionate about it, and I know how to do it, and I know how to do it well. So this is the thing. It's timeless and spaceless now. It's all on the mastermind. I've started saying no to things, and I offer that to you too, because a lot of you might be getting to a point in your business. You've done the work. You've built it up to a certain period. Now you've got to look at what we're saying yes to and really refine it even more. Okay, so this brings me to the next thing, the monthly mastermind with Diane McKendrick. If you are on here watching, let me know what you think. I had so many phenomenal testimonials come in yesterday. It's funny. They come every day, but you get big chunks every now and again of them all coming in at once. And it's just like a little light in your head to go, you're on the right track, keep doing it. You're making a difference. I was with Ross flying the drone, playing the computer down in the backyard, and I'm receiving emails. Part of my brain feeling a little guilty, if I'm honest, because I should be doing work right now. I scheduled the work for now, and this recording's not getting done. Pull myself back. Soulful success. That was success, to have the freedom, the choice to spend that time with him while these testimonials are coming in. I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, this is the dream, this is the life, and you can all do that. So the mastermind, that's there, ready to rock. We're up to module 3 for those who started right at the beginning. Remember, I'm going to keep 4 or 5 months on the dashboard after that. The first ones are going to drop off for you because you need an incentive to get it done. If you're paying me money, I am committed to helping you show up and do it. Too many people tell me, if this is just me, or if you do it too, they pay for the thing, you pay for your subscription, 2 months later, 3 months later, you haven't even opened the friggin' welcome email yet. And then 4 months later, 5 months, oh, the money's coming out of my account and I haven't done it. Sorry, I want to cancel. No, you don't. Not with me, because I make it my complete focus that if you have paid me money, that you are going to take action. So part of that process is, if you don't do it, it's going to get taken away from you. I know it seems brutal, but it's a bit like kids. I want this for you. So I'm thinking, what incentive can I add? Okay, I'm going to remove them. They all will come back eventually, but you need to do it and you need to focus. I'm to the point now that if you want to work with me, you've got the desire to change, I'm willing to do what it takes, even when I'm uncomfortable, to make you get the results that you deserve, desire, and that you want. So who's with me? Give me the love. Woo-hoo-hoo. I know heaps of you have sent the chats up here. I'm going to read them at the end because I'm worried once I touch something that blows up. Just make sure you guys are on mute. I can hear some of you laughing at me in the background. Because once again, I don't want to press too many buttons. Okay, so that's me. The next arm of the business that's come about is, and a handful of you have heard me talk about it already, it has gone absolutely gangbusters. You may have heard of it already or not. Is a little device called a Healy. My beautiful sister, Michelle Ann, started like 9 days ago. I think she's got nearly 20 people enrolled underneath her. So let me tell you quickly about the Healy. The Healy is a little device that basically reads your auric field. I don't even know how to say that word, but reads your frequency, and it tells you what you're missing. It tells you what's happening within your body, and then it creates bioresonance, like it creates the field or the frequency, and it puts it back in. So if anyone wants more information on that, use it for your health in your palm of your hand. Basically, it's the new age, which is really just the old way of doing stuff, really old energy, sort of closing the gaps within your energetic field. If you want more information to use it for you and your family in your healing process, reach out. There is also a business opportunity with this. It's a network marketing model. It has not been launched in Australia or soft launch in Australia. We are at the top. We're at the top with the founder. So if you're looking for a business opportunity with something that's aligned to you as a healer and a health, myself and Michelle, mainly Michelle, give credit where credit's due, has like researched the shit out of it. It's aligned with our business. We believe in it and we're taking the next step. And like I said, within 9 or 10 days since you sign up, it has gone berserk because humans need this. People need this. So if you're feeling the call to either work with us in a business, or get one of these for yourself and your family's healing, please reach out and I can speak to you about that separately. It's a pretty phenomenal, people don't realize now, but it's a pretty phenomenal opportunity for us healers and intuits, however you say that word, amongst us to create sacred business around something that's aligned and that we believe in serving people and helping people. So I just wanted to throw that in there. So let's get into the juice, into the content. Loving the numbers. Okay, so this is the thing. Whatever you're going for in your life, you hear me talk about the 7 areas of life: your health, your wealth, your relationships, your finances, your business. I'm working with a lot of entrepreneurs at the moment, so let's focus on this. But you can sort of relate this information to any area of your life. But I'm going to sort of use business today because I think that's what people come to me the most and ask me about. You've got 2 kids, your husband works away. How the bloody hell, woman, do you do what you do in such periods of time? I even talk to my mentors and they look in and I'm like, oh, it's not good enough. I haven't done enough, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, Diane, you have done triple what we have done because I've got mentors and I listen to them and I change things up. So anyway, you're on track, you're doing your business. I'm just going to shut this door because I think Ross is about to have lunch and it'll get kind of noisy. Okay, cool. So you're on track. You're doing your thing. You're in creation, or use me as an example. I'm in creation. I'm doing my thing, and then someone calls me, or something happens, and I get that kick in the gut feeling, and I feel offended, or I feel upset, or I feel like I've lost something. Can you tune into that feeling? When you're on track, you might be out at a coffee one day, and someone says something to you. For me, the other day, I was working, and I was so focused on what I was working. And I got a message from someone, because when you're a business person and you rise up, people have their internal reaction. And someone had basically written to me and was like, you are out of alignment. I don't like the way that you're doing this, X, Y, and Z. And I had that kick in the tummy kind of feeling. I was like, I'm focused on this right now. I'm gonna really focus on this. And then I was sitting there doing my thing. And then I felt my mind wander off a little bit. And I was like, who who is she to say that to me? That's not fair. Victim mode, right? I went into victim, like starting to feel bad because that was a pattern of mine, like never wanting to feel bad or naughty or wrong. And so anyway, it was like just over a week ago, and I felt myself concentrating. Oh, my mind's going back off over here. And then I found myself getting distracted. And I was like, hold on a second, what's happening here? Instead of focusing on the thing that I'm doing and the thing that I'm creating, there's a pattern running in me and I'm distracted. I'm distracted from this. You could liken it to your relationship. You're having a great time with your partner. He says something or she says something and it knocks you off center because it triggers you. It's like you've got these buttons. And as an entrepreneur, as a partner, as a parent, I feel like my role is to reduce your buttons. The amount of buttons, you know, when they say they push your buttons, the beauty of working with someone that is aware is that they don't have many buttons. If you want to get more of the work done and stay in flow state, we have to reduce the buttons. And then the other thing we have to do is catch the button before it triggers, before you go off into wild la la land and have it like spurting out things that you wouldn't usually say to people. We've all done that. And then you've got to pick the pieces up around that. And then there's a whole nother pattern that you have to deal with because you just told someone something that you didn't really mean, that was really hurtful and that you can't take back. And it just like deteriorates down and down and down and down and down. So can you see how valuable this might be? Hello, my friend Owen from America. Good to see you. Mason was just on this one up here. My American family. So can you see how reducing these buttons or capturing them could really open up the possibility to stay present with either your relationship, your finances, your work. With that book, you guys can't see it, you guys can, just went bestseller. Thank you, Owen, thank you everybody, but yeah, especially on my American family that jumped on it, was a little bit harder to get. Could you imagine when I was writing my book, if every time I sat down to write it, I heard someone's voice in my head saying, you can't do that. Why is this? And it actually happened. Someone jumped on and told me, I'm so disappointed in you. You stole my name instead of just ringing me and have a conversation about it, like attacked me online. And I was like, holy shit. And I had to use this stuff to get myself. Otherwise, a week would have passed and I still would have been churning and feeling sick about, the thing that was in my head. So let's recognize where your buttons are. And if somebody pushes your button and you react, you're not being present. You're reacting to a past, something that's happened in the past and a belief system about yourself. So my secret recipe on how I get so much done is when I get triggered, which happens a lot, I can catch it, I can reduce it, and then I can completely neutralize it. And then if a conversation needs to be had, I have it from a very neutral place instead of screaming and yelling and throwing things and saying things that I don't mean, which, like I said, then means you've got to go pick up the pieces. All that's time, guys. When I was sitting here churning through the work, my kids are usually at school from 9 till 3. And I do, when Gus is away, and even when he's home, not so much now because of COVID, but I was doing a lot. Every school lunch, pick up, drop off, meals. I was fully booked one-on-ones. I was writing a book. I didn't have time to get knocked off center. But the other thing is I don't want stuff to happen to you and pretend it doesn't matter. If you've got a physical, emotional charge to it, we need to be able to dissolve it. So this is this button that people press for you. I'm going to help you reduce them, okay? If that's okay with you. So you can stay centered, you can stay focused, you can really start to create the life, the relationship, the finances that you want. Rightio. So if you can't see here, my team's dropped the comments above. Jump on and jump on so you can see. So there's two pictures. There's the front of the coin and the back of the coin, the heads and the tails. This webinar specifically today is to increase your self-awareness and your self-worth. By the end of the webinar, you will have a perspective of yourself that many people never get. So I see most people, the collective of people that master their life, and the masses. The masses do what everybody else do. They follow subconsciously what everybody else does. If you want to master your life, go ahead and look at what everybody else is doing, and no matter how it feels and what your brain is telling you about it, do the opposite thing. So this is the thing, a lot of people won't get this information, and those of you who do, there will only be a small percentage of you that actually implement it. So this is a metaphor for self-worth. It's like collecting coins, okay? So you've got the heads and the tails of the coin. The more coins that you collect, the more self-worth you have. But this is the clincher. This is the key. A coin has two sides. It has the heads and the tails. So if you only want to collect the heads, you wouldn't have any full coins. You wouldn't have any full self-worth coins. But so often what people do is they go through their life attached to the one side. So you've got a coin, and to have a whole coin, you've got to have the heads and the tails. So yeah, let's use that as a metaphor for the positive and the negative. Most people attach to the positive in their life, and they're sharing out there on the social media or out there in the world that I'm activated and I'm energized and I'm honest and I'm all these things. This says low battery, but it's plugged in. Sorry, people, if it cuts out. You can jump over to my personal page or the link if this one, the life coach one, closes down. Okay, so just remember that you've got a coin. It has two sides. The goal of the game is to get as many coins as you can, but you can only get the coins when you have embrace and embody both sides of the coin, the positive and the negative. Most people will go through their life attached to the one side, like I said, which is the positive or the perceived positive. So here comes the juicy information. The positive traits that they want to express, or that we all want to express to the world, are all the good things. Example, as I said before, active, energetic, kind, brave, and caring. Feels good to be able to say that to people, doesn't it? That's self-esteem, guys. If you can say the I am positives, I am loving, I am caring, I am amazing, I am beautiful, I am funny, I am smart, blah, blah, blah. That's self-esteem, and that's great. And that's where most of us, because of society, have to start. Just really accepting the good parts about ourselves, because we've been conditioned a lot of the time, not all of us, but some of us, to feel like we aren't even those things. So you've got to go through that. Self-esteem is like I am, the I ams that are in the perceived good, healthy, activated, energetic, funny, kind, loyal, whatever the things. This is actually self-esteem, a split awareness, a stepping stone on the journey, not the full journey. Because then what we have to do, and this is what most people won't do because it's freaking uncomfortable and scary, and most people will start to do it and go, oh, this doesn't feel really good, I'm not going to do it. The people that work with me, you know that you're going to take the next step. So this is about owning all the traits. So the next part of the thing is to go, the positive traits here: active, adventurous, altruistic, aspiring, aware, brilliant, capable, captivating, charismatic, however I say that, confident, courageous, creative. I'm all of those things. And, so are you, right? How does it feel? I want you to notice how you feel when I say that you are all these things. You are active, adventurous, altruistic, which means you do things for other people, aware, inspiring, brilliant, capable, captivating, charismatic, confident, courageous, and creative. You're all those things. Feel good? Good, because I am too. But now listen to this. You can't have one side of the coin without the other. What most of us do is attach to the positive side, but in actuality, to be whole, it can't just be positive. It's got to be positive and negative, and it's only a perception anyway. It's got to be both sides of the coin. So if you are active, it means on the other side of the coin, you have to be lazy. You have laziness in you. If you are adventurous, it means another part of you has to be cautious, to have both sides of the coin. If you are altruistic and you give, and you're attaching that to the world, and you're creating an identity around helping people and doing the thing, I got caught up in this, helping people and doing the thing, then I also have to be narcissistic in my behaviors, because I couldn't be altruistic if I didn't have narcissistic qualities as well. The thing is, we don't want to get out on the social media and get out there saying I'm narcissistic, or I can be, because of what people might think. But I can guarantee, guys, the day that you understand this and the penny drops, when you've got it in here and this awareness, what people think on the outside won't touch you, because you're owning all of your traits. So here's another example of it, right? Actually, let me go down the rest of the list first. So you're altruistic, you're aspiring, which means in other areas of your life, you'll be careless. You're aware, which also means you've got to be dull or ignorant. Brilliant, you've got to be dull. Capable, you've got to be incapable of things. To be captivating, you are also boring. All you captivating, amazing people out there. You're boring as batshit in other areas of your life too. Sorry, I hope I didn't offend anybody. And if I did, then let's talk. Charismatic, so you're very charming to people, also means you're going to be shy. If you're captivating, you can be airy. Confident, you've got to have shyness within you as well. Courageous and unimaginative, you be creative, you can be unimaginative. So imagine this, if you're owning all those traits, I'll be out in about 10. If you're owning all those traits, then you can't, when someone says to me, so let's use this as an example because I attached for a long time to the active. And if anyone called me lazy, I thought that was bad and I was offended and I was like, how dare you call me that? And I'd go off into justification of why I'm not lazy. The day that I removed the resistance and was like, yeah, you're right, I can be a lazy sucker. What happens, I'm going to take you through it in a minute, is I'm lazy in the areas of my life that I'm not inspired by. So while I was saying I'm active, I had self-esteem. It wasn't until I owned my laziness and understood that it is usually in less empowered areas of my life. Yes, I can be lazy. So then when someone comes to me and says, you're lazy, instead of being like, who the hell do you think you are? I'm not lazy, and resisting it. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Full stop. Can you feel the difference? And then I carry on with my work. Yes, I can be lazy. Yes, I am lazy. Big hairy deal. Okay, what's next? Let's focus. I got the pixie cards. I'm going to get these pixie cards done. The old me would have been, what do you mean I'm lazy? I'm not. I'm doing this and you don't know how hard I'm trying. I would have been justified. And these guys, it still comes up for me, but it's so important that you catch it. So this is the other thing. Another one, the altruistic one is a big one because we have such negative connotations to being narcissistic, which is the opposite. So yes, I'm altruistic. Yes, I do stuff for people a lot. That also means I can be an a-hole in other areas of my life. And so when someone comes to me and said, you've been a narcissistic pig, I'll be like, oh, what? Knocked off center, going to just manage that and into victim mode or persecutor mode or to manage that mode. And I'll go, actually, yeah, you're right. I can be. And if I didn't mean to be in that moment, that's where my work's going to be. So I'm not going to go out here fluffing around. I'm going to go in here and go, where did that not align with me? Or actually, am I okay with that? And when you do that, it neutralizes it straight away. And then you clear the space and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Okay, so let's go through to the next page. This one's really cool. Slide. Okay, so I have a spreadsheet. This is Lewis's. I've created my own. I had my team help me with one in adding all my herbs and spices and the things that I felt like he missed, not missed, but I wanted to bring in other strategies that I have learned. So I've incorporated it into the one in the mastermind. This is his. If you guys can't see it, jump on. So just remember your greatest desires, with your greatest desires, the positive traits you're going to know. So for him, when he did his example, was wealth, money, financial, and teach, share, write, help, wisdom, learn, grow, and knowledge. So they're all his creative desires. That's where his positive traits will most likely emerge. So if you want a copy of this template, it's in the mastermind, my version of it. Where is his positive traits? What are his greatest desires? Because your positive traits are going to show up where your greatest desires are. So we go through the positive, and then we also go through the negative. And the other thing is, just clicked forward. The other thing is the negative or perceived negative traits come up in your life in the areas you're less inspired by. Where my negative traits will most likely emerge are in your lowest desire areas. So when you uncover this and someone comes to you and says something or has a reflection to you, you can go through and neutralize it very quickly. So lowest desires, family, relationships, marriage, fitness, health and strength, communication, social, religion, work-life balance and support. So owning that he can be lazy, or you're going to have your version of this in his family, relationships and marriage. He knows that, and it gives you guys a really clear space of where your work needs to be done and are really aware framework of what you can do step by step to help shift and change and grow all this stuff. So as I take you through it deeper in the mastermind, I'm not going to spend too much time on it today. I just wanted to give you pretty much the main framework of it: your greatest desires, your lowest desires. You have both perceived positive and negative traits. Your positive traits show up where your greatest desires are. I'm not lazy in my business because it's one of my greatest desires. I'm not lazy within my family unit because it's one of my greatest desires. Where my lowest desires are is where my negative traits come up. So I haven't been as activated within the extended family unit because my greatest desire through these times with COVID and everything was all about setting sacred sanctuary up here so we could navigate the next bit together. So then when this is a really good example. So then when my mum might call me and say, you know, I haven't seen much of you and you're not really making a commitment to catch up with us. And I feel like you're being lazy in the connection with us. I'm not seeing you. When I tried to resist that, it happened straight away. I was triggered straight away. I was like, oh my gosh, you don't know how much pressure I'm under. You don't know what I've been doing. You don't know what I've taken on. And that's my stuff. That's not her stuff. She just showed me an area in my life where I was disempowered because I wasn't owning my laziness. The moment that I realized what I was doing, I was like, I'm triggered. That's really uncomfortable. I pulled out this spreadsheet literally and did it and went through it. And I was like, because things have changed, usually my family, extended family as well, is such a high priority for me. But we battened down the hatches here. And while I was resisting my laziness, that the reality and the truth of the facts was I hadn't caught up with them as much. I hadn't made much of a commitment, but I was resisting it, saying, no, I'm not lazy. You don't know this, that, and the other. Can you see? And the moment I pulled this up and I did it, I was like, oh, yeah, I have been lazy. Full stop. And it just sort of dissipates and lifts. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It's incredible that we can just have that shift and change like that. Can you see now how then that would give me the platform to continue to shine, to continue to create the next product rather than having to make the phone calls, go for the walk, do the thing because I felt bad? And it happens in all areas of our life, and it continues to happen. Even though we know this information, it keeps coming up for us. So through the course of my template that I have here, which is in the mastermind for you guys, there's a list of a couple of hundred personality traits that we go through one by one and own. Like we take time and you go through it and you own this side and you own this side. So you have lots of coins that you can put in the self-worth coins, the full coin, into the self-worth piggy bank, and you continue to flourish and grow. So pretty powerful, very, very, very powerful. So you can move on from each of the traits. We have however many hundreds there. Hey, Kelly, good to see you on here. However many hundred, there's a fair few, and we go through one by one. You're going to be more drawn to some than others, but you can't move on until you can say with 100% certainty that you are that thing, whether it be, we'll go back and see the spreadsheet. You can fully say and own and feel at peace with being lazy, being cautious, being narcissistic, being careless, being ignorant, dull, incapable, boring, airy, shy, and fearful. When you can own all of those and go, hell yeah, yes, I am, we'll move on to the next one by one by one. And you get better at it, same as anything. The more you do it, the better you get. So move on when you can say with 100% certainty, I am that, and you don't have any little sort of trigger through your body. And we prepare you for soulful success. Because guys, I can guarantee as you rise up, as you can keep doing amazing things, more people want to show you, they come into your life to show you where you're disempowered in your life. And if you don't have this focus, if you don't have a good coach to keep you on track, a commitment to this, you will go off and you'll get scared. You'll spend too much time running around the sidelines like a lot of us do. And yeah, it's not the way forward. So my intention for you is that by the end of, for the masterminders, and hopefully by the end of this, that you've had a little bit of a shift and a change. And then if anyone calls you a one-sided thing, lazy, not good enough, whatever what I just went through, that there's no rejection of it. You're not trying to resist it. You understand that to be the one thing, you also have to be the other, that you have a choice, that the perceived negatives show up in the lower areas, desired areas of your life, the perceived positives show, and then we can do linking processes and we can chain things around and we test for alignment and congruency and all the thing, but we do all that in the mastermind. So this will then, it won't push you off center. It creates a space of truth and presence and to be really in the moment, to continue the creation of your products, services, to continue the relationship from a place of, you know, love and understanding instead of pinballing all around all the time. So we're nearly done. Quick one today. If action takers amongst you, if you are one of the first to inbox me and message me, I will gift you 15 minutes of my time. But you have to get inbox me and I'll send you the Calendly link. If you're not in the first 10, I can't take more than 10 at the moment, but I want people that are serious. So I want people that are ready to change. I want people with the desire and the willingness to do the uncomfortable things, to step up. So if that's you, PM me now on my personal page. If you're on Zoom, make sure you go over to the Facebook and personal message me on there. And then if you wanted more, like you've heard me talk about the mastermind through the course of the webinar today, the mastermind, let me tell you a little bit about it really briefly. It's basically an online package of everything that I've ever learned, packaged to you. It's $80 a month, which is nothing, which is like $20 a week for tens of thousands of dollars worth of personal development. The two biggest things people would tell me, I can't afford it and I don't have time for it. So I've removed those blockages for you. So if you are sitting on the fence, you want this type of work, let me know. Actually, I'll put the link, if my team's listening. Casey, can you pop the link in the comments? Actually, you guys take action. www.dianemckendrick, D-I-A-N-E, McKendrick.com. So you're going to go on there. There'll be a little video. It'll tell you more about what it's about. You'll get a feel. If you're ready, jump on. If you're not, you know, go neutralize yourself even more. Okay, so that's the monthly mastermind. That's going off at the moment. It's all there. And yeah, that's it, guys. Basically, you've got the decision. It's your life. It's your business. It's your relationship. It's your finances. You can continue to hide. You can continue to not feel good enough or try and pretend that you're not all these things. But the day, for me personally, that I owned all of my traits, the perceived good and the perceived bad, my life like completely revolutionized. My life, my business, my relationships, my finance, it gave me so much freedom. It gave me soulful success. It's not about the money. Too many people, myself for a long period of time, and I sometimes still catch myself in the pattern, you know, think that money is success, or where you live is success, or the tangible assets that you're displaying to the world is success. Success to me, soulful success, is exactly what happened to me the other day. I wake up every morning, I do what I love with people that I love. I get paid a very healthy income to do it because I've created it that way. So there's a fair exchange and people are being educated, inspired, empowered. When I look into the community and see you coaching each other and supporting each other, that's success to me. To be able to change my direction the other day and spend the day with Ross, to be able to sit down and have a coffee with my husband this morning and sort of be talking about, you know, I feel like I was a bit addicted to the drama for a while because everything's just pumping along nicely. And my brain is like, well, then you're not successful because you're not run off your feet or you're not trying really hard and it's not hard anymore. And there was this pattern running that it had to be hard, or I had to be working. I'm an athlete. I had to be working harder than everybody else. And I just bloody created that because that was the belief system and thought process. So then I said to Gus even this morning, who am I when it's not so hard? I don't feel like I deserve it. So that's success to me, to have that awareness, to have the time to have that conversation, and then bloody get on here and share it with all of you guys. So pretty phenomenal. Hey, anybody that's on the Facebook, if you want a copy of the this whole recording, actually you can get the whole recording with the slideshow, send me an email, step 1. Step number 2, if you want to be one of the 10 people that get 15 minutes with me, send me a DM. And step number 3, just continue to show up, guys. Continue to show up, whether it's me or another coach. You need a community of like-minded people around you to help rising you up, keep lifting you up and keeping you on track. So that's been an absolute pleasure to be here and chat to you all today, all of my devices. I think I chatted mostly to you guys down here today. But thank you, everybody on the Zoom here. I'm just going to stop you guys. And I'll stop you guys. And thank you, Zoomies. I'm going to quickly read all the things that came through. Oh, that's been shared. And I forgot to record it. That was really clever of me. All right, cool. I'm going to go through and read all these. Stop sharing my screen. Oh, there we go. I better end